All right, guys. So on this episode of Make It Make Sense, right? And I truly do really mean that, right? Make it make sense, okay? I need you guys' help with this one because I don't know what to make of this, okay? It is about a transgender, non-binary athlete by the name of Quinn, okay? Quinn is a footballer, okay? Quinn is a biological female, plays for Canada's team, okay, and currently Quinn is competing in the World Cup. Now, Quinn is being celebrated, as you can see headlines like this, for being the first non-binary or openly transgender person to compete in the World Cup, you know, playing women's football, right? And again, the mainstream liberal media is celebrating this. Now, this is fascinating because despite being non-binary transgender, Quinn is 100% a biological female. Quinn does not take any hormones, okay? Quinn has not increased their testosterone, okay? Quinn has not undergone any surgeries. Like, this is a 100% biological female, okay? No modifications, right? However, this person, again, is being celebrated simply because they say that they're non-binary trans, even though, again, there have been no modifications, right? And Piers Morgan is going to have this debate, okay, with these women, okay, who, again, are trying to make sense of all of this, okay? How in the world can you have somebody planning a woman's event while at the same time not identifying as a woman, okay? Because the argument from the woke left is that these athletes should be able to compete based on how they identify, except this person does not identify as a woman, yet they're competing as a woman. Why are they not competing as a man? Right? I think we all know the reason why they're not competing as a man, but let's go ahead and react to this conversation here between Piers Morgan and these women, because this is going to be frustrating, right? Piers is going to be just as confused as I am, and it's pretty entertaining to watch. So without further ado, let's get into it.
In the Women's World Cup, it's called the Women's World Cup. We have a new superstar, the Canada midfielder Quinn, goes by the name Quinn. It wasn't the name that Quinn was born with, but Quinn has been heralded, celebrated this week as the first transgender, non-binary footballer to play in the Women's World Cup. To which my response when I read this was, hang on a second, hang on. Is she a biological male? No, it turned out she's a biological female.
Not she, so.
So what is she?
Well, whatever they'd like to go. Let's go.
Hang on. Just to be clear.
I think, Quinn.
I haven't asked a question.
And Quinn.
I haven't asked a question.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to the woke revolutionaries on the panel, okay? They're going to refer to Quinn by Quinn's preferred pronouns. I believe is they, okay? I just want you guys to note that in your head here, right? Because they know in their head, okay, what reality is, right? And they're going to admit it here in a little bit, but I just want you guys to note that in your head.
She is a transgender non-binary. Mm-hmm. What is that?
Well,
how can you be transgender
Quinn,
and non-binary?
Because that's what they are.
I thought non-binary meant you were neither one nor the other.
What Quinn also is an Olympic medalist.
Hang on, sorry. I thought transgender meant you literally male to female, female to male. Turns out that non-binary is not the same as transgender, or it is.
I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I would say that's probably because they're not allowed to take the correct amount of testosterone because they are still playing in the women's team. And so I would assume they are saying they're non-binary.
Testosterone.
No, doesn't want to be that's what I'm saying. So
Quinn doesn't want to be male.
Because Quinn can't compete.
Quinn is a female playing against females, but now doesn't want to identify as a woman.
Because you won't let her play on the male team.
No. You heard that? She just said her, because you wouldn't let her play on the male's team. Now, here's the reality, right? Here's the reality. I don't mean no harm, okay? I don't mean no disrespect. Quinn is not playing on the male's team, because even if Quinn took testosterone, I don't care how much performance enhancing drugs Quinn takes, okay, steroids, whatever, Quinn does not have a snowball's chance in hell of making the men's World Cup team. it's not going to happen, right? It's not about not letting her play on the team. It's just about the fact that, again, it doesn't matter how many drugs Quinn puts in their body. They're just not going to be able to compete just simply because of the fact that Quinn is a biological female. That is just the reality of biology, period, right? Quinn not competing on the males team has nothing to do with whether or not, Quinn has been allowed to. It's the same reason we don't see any transgender people, right, in regards to trans men, okay, competing against biological males. We don't see any biological women compete against biological men or going into men's sports because biologically it just doesn't work, okay? Even with the performance enhancements, they're just not going to be able to compete, especially at the elite level, right? At the elite level, you're talking about competing against elite men. An elite woman, it's not going to work, okay? Even on performance-enhancing drugs. Again, if you need evidence, just look at what happened to the U.S. women's soccer team when they tried to play men. They got destroyed, right? They got demolished, okay? It doesn't matter if they play grown men or if they play teenagers. Either way, they're getting destroyed. Again, that's just reality, okay? But again, the issue here, the confusing part, right, is if this person does not identify as a woman, why are they playing on the women's team? I don't understand. I really don't get it, because they say that, hey, we want to play on whatever team we identify as. You don't identify as a woman. Why are you playing on a women's team? Now, here's the thing. Should Quinn be allowed to play on a women's team? Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to figure out why would they want to play on a women's team, right? That's my question. If Quinn really does not feel like Quinn is a woman, if Quinn is non-binary or whatever, okay, maybe Quinn, according to these women, maybe Quinn wants to be a man. Quinn should try out for the male team, right? But again, we all know how that will work out, okay? No disrespect to Quinn. I'm sure Quinn is way better at football than me, right? But I'm just saying, Quinn, I don't think Quinn has a shot of making the male team if Quinn tried out for the male team, okay?
No, you're missing
team.
the point. She doesn't want to play on the male team. She's not actually
Quinn might like to do that.
No, Quinn wants to be an ex-woman, Alex.
Piers,
hang on, Paula. No.
Who's upset
Paula,
about this?
Stop being mean by interrupting. I'm coming to Alex. Alex, I just want to get my head around this. She's a transgender, non-binary ex-woman. So my question is, if you're no longer identifying as a woman, what are you doing playing in the Women's World Cup? Not my title. That is the official title of a tournament. She doesn't qualify. They don't qualify, even though there's only one of them. They don't qualify for the Women's World Cup because they used to be a woman, but now they don't want to be a woman. So now we have to call them they for being a transgender, even though they're non-binary. And they're still playing in the Women's World Cup, and we're all supposed to go, well done, Quinn, what a moment. What a moment. But no one's quite sure what we're celebrating.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure either, right? Because, again, this person is not on drugs. Okay, they haven't modified any of their body parts. They simply are just saying, I'm not a woman, I'm non-binary, and they're being celebrated, even though effectively there's been no changes whatsoever, okay? I think that, again, that's the confusing part to me. I'm like, well, what effectively has changed? Like, what, besides what they're saying, right? I don't really get it. I don't get it, okay? But again, you got a ton, just look it up. You can just look this up. You don't believe me. A ton of the mainstream liberal, they're all celebrating this, okay? They're all celebrating it. The easiest way to get attention, okay, in 2023, right, is to basically come out and say, hey, I don't want to be a woman or a man anymore. I'm non-binary. I'm trans. You don't have to undergo any operations. You don't have to get your battle scars. You don't have to take any drugs. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't have to actually go through it. You're just going to be celebrated simply because you say it, right? That's what's happening here. And to me, it's just weird, right? It's weird. It doesn't make any sense, okay? These people are having their cake and eat it too, okay? You're playing in a women's event, but yet you don't identify as a woman. when you basically have spent all this time arguing that, hey, we should play in events that we identify as because I am not, my biological sex, right? But now, again, they are, trying to, again, have their cake and eat it too and say, well, even though I don't identify as a woman, I know I can't really compete against men because I wouldn't be able to just compete with them. So now I'm just going to compete amongst women, which, again, I don't disagree with them doing it. I just don't understand how you can identify as non-binary and compete amongst women, right? If you truly believe what you believe, right? There should be some problem internally if you really truly believe that you're not a woman, but yet you're competing amongst women, right? This person should have a personal issue with that. Okay, they should be advocating to play with men, right? Or to play amongst non-binary people. Okay, which they're going to talk about that in a little bit here.
Alex, what are we celebrating?
Rules change all the time. It's like we're bestowing upon people who have gender dysphoria some sort of magical, extra special power that normal people don't have. And I don't care, frankly, how many goals have they scored? That's more interesting if you're a professional.
Paula, why is someone who doesn't consider themselves a woman in the Women's World Cup? Explain to me.
Because where else are they going to be able to?
In a trans or non-binary tournament?
I don't see one. And I certainly don't see one.
I keep being told there are millions of trans people now.
Yeah, exactly. Right? I'm being told the same thing. There's so many. Why don't they have their own leagues? Okay? Why can't they compete amongst themselves? Oh, wait. It's the same reason why, again, these people don't support women's sports because these liberals are not going to watch it, right? They're not going to watch it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see it, right? These same people that's supposed to be so pro-trans rights, and we support you, right, to the point where, again, we'll allow biological men to compete against biological women in sports, right, and to take away from women and their opportunity to shine, right? They'll fully support that. Why do they fully support that? It's because they don't care about women's sports in the first place, right? So they don't care that women can't fairly compete because they don't watch it, right? So they're not going to come out here and to advocate for trans people to have their own sports, okay, and play amongst themselves like I am, because they're the liberals, the people that claim to support trans people, they're not going to watch it, right? They're going to refuse to watch it. They're not going to support it. And when they don't support it, then they'll have to deal with the backlash from the mob about why they're not supporting it, right? Because, again, they'll be accused of transphobia, right? Okay, you're transphobic if you don't watch us, right? If you don't come out and show up to our games, you're transphobic. And the woke revolutionaries don't want to go there. So they just, again, default to, well, let's just let biological men compete against biological women or invade women's sports. Fine, we'll do that, okay? And then say you're a bigot if you don't agree with it. But at the same time, we're going to allow somebody that doesn't identify as a woman, okay, to turn around and to play with women. Even though they say they don't identify as a woman, right? We're going to be totally fine with that. We're not going to say anything about it. And again, the clear hypocrisy, right? The clear confusion that causes in regards to, okay, well, what's going on here? There's no rhyme or reason to any of this stuff, okay? These people just want to have their cake and eat it too. Whatever they say goes, okay? It doesn't have to logically make sense, okay? It doesn't have to be consistent, right? It's just whatever they say goes. And it's just, I think the world is confused. I think people have no clue what the hell is going on anymore.
Around the world, great. Have your own tournament.
So, Piers, if you and I want to set one up, then I'm all for that.
Swimming, you've just done it today.
Fantastic. So why don't we do that?
Great.
So instead of being
so
angry...
you accept they shouldn't be competing?
No, I do not accept
in Quinn's
that.
Case,
No, I do not accept that.
Quinn's
you asked
case,
me, what options did this person have?
Quinn?
None was my answer.
No, they can set up their own leagues. Again, apparently they're doing that with swimming, according to that woman. If that's the case, if that's true, I guarantee you, see how many people watch it, right? See how many people watch it. All these people that are so vehemently pro-trans rights. We have to support trans people no matter what, right? This is what they say. How many of these people are going to support it? I guarantee you very few of them will. They're going to struggle financially. They're going to struggle to sell tickets, right? And then they're going to deal with the consequence of, well, hey, you're not watching our sports, right? You must be a transphobe. Again, that's what's about to happen. I guarantee you. Mark my words.
None.
Yes.
No options did this person have to perform on their
Look at your
world
mournful
stage.
little faces. You both know this is such.
No, you want
You do.
to be angry people.
Look at your
You don't
faces.
need to. What you need to do
Why are
is
you
get to
not
one of those
angry?
matches,
Why are you not
get to one of
angry
those
to
matches
protect-
and applaud?
Why don't you want to protect women? Why is it always left to me to
But
protect
women
women's
are
rights?
protected.
They're not.
This
Why does it
person
have
has
to
gone
be-
and they've won an Olympic medal, and now they are playing successfully.
Doesn't
in
want to be a
tournament.
woman.
I don't see what the problem
Doesn't
is.
want to be a woman. Hates the idea of being a woman.
Well, I don't know about
Put their
hatred,
stuff to
Piers.
themselves.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? My understanding is they've not had any sort of testosterone, so there's no biological.
No,
advantage.
she's a
So carry on
biological
playing in the sport.
Yes.
Fine. I don't care.
Just stop
But
telling
why
us
do we
all about
have
your great
why do
move
we
to be a
have
transgender,
yeah, why can't
non-binary,
people just
whatever.
get on
Nobody
with
cares.
it?
Nobody cares.
Yeah. So, Piers, again, I'm just as confused as you are. I have no idea what's going on. It's whatever they say goes, and that's just what it seems. That's what the woke powers that be are going along with, right? So again, you end up with confusing stories like this, where they're celebrating somebody who, again, isn't on drugs. They haven't undergone any surgeries, no battle scars, just a full 100% biological woman that is being celebrated for competing against biological women. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't, okay? It's incredible. It really is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.